Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of the Grandstand here on the Ohio Patriotification Network YouTube channel. I'm, as always, your host here, the Ohio Patriot. And for today's episode, we're going to talk about was it justified, the Freaknik shooting breakdown. Basically, this is going to be a breakdown of various things that we saw at the recent Freaknik event there in New York City. Obviously, a very anti-gun shithole is what it is, and obviously NEA and company were discussing this for about a good 20 minutes last night during his chat, or not last night, earlier tonight is what it was, a couple hours ago now. And I know Van Drake said he was against, like he didn't think it was justified. I know there's a couple other people that said they thought it was justified. I'm somewhere in the middle personally, like just based on my own, you know, seeing everything and doing like an outside perspective and stuff like that. Like obviously, it's New York City, so the guy's going to get fucked anyway. We all know that right now, unfortunately. But I would say honestly, personally, from my opinion of it, I think it is justified for multiple reasons. The fact that we now have a longer video that came out and he was showing on his chat. I'm not going to show it here because I don't want to get a strike on my channel. What it is, in case YouTube would fuck like that was what it is, because they probably would honestly. Um, but yeah, basically it's a whole thing where you can watch it. You can go to the Matt's Discord, what it is there, and check it out on there. It's about a minute and some change. Well, actually, I think it's about 45 seconds actually. But yeah, basically, from what it shows, it's basically what it looks like is you have two dudes getting into it back and forth between each other, and then it's the guy in light green that ends up getting a hold of the gun at some point, and somebody else that jump in. And from what we're seeing there, it looks like one or both the individuals jump in because they actually saw the gun falling out of somebody else's pants is what it is. And I gotta say, like, looking at a still frame that I found that somebody did in one of the comment sections there, because obviously you got the dude that was all in black that basically did, like pop the dude in the back of the head is what it was there, before he then, turned the gun and basically shot at him is what it was. I don't know if we actually hit the guy or not, but yeah, looking at the whole thing here, like from that perspective and stuff, obviously this guy standing over him, like he wasn't running away after he popped him in the back of the head, right? Like this dude could have easily been like stomping him in the nuts or stomping him in the chest or something like that. The whole thing, like who the hell knows, dude? And, like I've seen multiple videos and stuff like that of people getting killed like that, honestly, or at least getting like severely wounded to the point where they're like even possibly wheelchair bound for that matter. So in my state where it's a stand your ground state, dude, like 100% that was justified, obviously, because you think your life is in danger is what it is. And, I've seen multiple things like that happen. Obviously, you've seen other ones where it was, stuff like that one down in Florida where it was the old white dude is what it was that got pushed by the big black guys. What it was outside of that Florida, I forget what it was, but basically it turned out that guy was actually not justified on stand your ground laws because he was actually the instigator in that situation, because what he was doing was he was telling some black chick that was with the guy, hey, why are you parking in a handicap spot if you're not handicapped? And then because he started the confrontation with what it was, and then basically got into it with her, and then eventually the boyfriend, husband, whatever it was, came out there and shoved him to the ground, and the guy went falling back, and then pulled his gun out, was like bang 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 a bunch of times on that dude, and then admitted that whole thing after the fact about being the instigator of the whole thing, as it was, or whatever the case be, to the detectives later on. That's exactly why his case became non-stand your ground very quickly, as what it was then. And so he basically fucked himself on that one, as it was, which it is what it is on that one. But in this case, like I can totally see this being justified just because of the fact that for multiple reasons, you have the dude jumping in there to either break up the fight or potentially just, get a hold of that gun is what it is, so that nobody uses the gun in the fight. And then, of course, some idiot runs up out behind him and fucking just, co-cocks him in the back of the fucking head like that. Like, dude, like somebody co-cocks me in the back of the fucking head like that, sucker punch style and stuff. And I'm all fucking like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I'm all disoriented and shit like that. Like, of course I'm going to flip around and, fucking fire off at their ass at that point then. Because I assume they're going to keep fucking kicking me or hitting me or punching me or whatever it is there at that point. And yeah, when you're on the ground like that, dude, all it takes is like one, punch downwards or one kick in the fucking skull or whatever the case be, and you're fucking brain dead at that point. Or at very least, you got your fucking skull shattered and stuff like that is what it is. I remember there was a video about 4 or 5 years ago now. It was during the Blue Riots, if I'm not mistaken. I forget what state it was in, but it was basically you had some dude that it was BLM and Antifa were kicking the shove at that point. And it was just some random guy. He ran down the road. Like, it wasn't Kyle Rittenhouse, but it was different guys. What it was in a different state. There's what it is. and that dude like tripped and fell, and you had somebody run up beside him, kick him in the fucking face, I believe is what it was, and then he was already like down and like kind of like trying to get back up, whatever the case be. And then you had some other piece of shit like BLM terrorist come running up and fucking like whapping the back of the fucking head with a kick to the back of the skull, and that dude was dead. They killed him at that point, dude. So yeah, like it's not unreasonable to think like that's the same thing that was gonna happen in that Freaknik event there, where it was some dude, you know, already runs up and punches you in the back of the fucking head at that point. And it's like, who knows what else they're going to do when they're not, you know, walking off or running off or whatever then, when they're standing over top of you at that point, you know? So, yeah, but as it turns out, when I zoomed in on this earlier, because I was trying to figure out what kind of gun this actually was, because everybody was saying, like, the possibility would be in, like, you know, 25 auto or 32 auto, whatever it was there. Maybe like a little sea camp or something. I thought it was a little sea camp myself, actually, at one point, but then I was looking at it more and more, and when I started to use this still frame, here's what it is, and you actually go in on the gun more and more, it looks like a two-shot Derringer. Like the way he's holding it specifically, it looks like a two-shot Derringer there. Because when I was looking up two-shot Derringers then, you got a couple different variations here in this Wikipedia article about Derringers. And I think it was something similar to either like one of these ones, or maybe like one of these like little 45 things, or whatever the hell is what it is. Because it kind of looks like one of these ones, actually. Like one of these little weird like polymer framed ones. So, like maybe, I don't know. Like it's either that, or it would be something like this, maybe. So it kind of does look like that same kind of Derringer look, though, is what it is there, man. So who knows what it was chambered in, though? Or even it could have been like one of these little four-banger ones or whatever from back in the day. That was like an 80s or 90s one from like, I think it was in Bad Boys, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, could have been something like that even, for that matter. Like, who knows, man? But yeah, I could easily see it being like a little Derringer or something like that there. So, and it would make total sense, logically speaking. Because even just looking at those Derringers and then going back to that again, like, yeah, it totally looks like a Derringer of some kind. It looks like one barrel on top, one barrel on bottom there is what it is. So, and it makes sense why the guy only shot like once is what it is. Because it may have only had like one or two in the fucking things is what it is there. So, or the fact he would have had to also pull back the hammer a second time to fire off the second round potentially. But, yeah. So, it is what it is, but, I do want to talk about stand your ground, though, because this might be considered a stand your ground type of thing, even though it's not a stand your ground state in New York, there's what it is, but potentially if this is happening in like Ohio or Texas or some other state like that, it possibly will be under stand your ground stuff. So this is Wikipedia of what stand your ground actually is. Also called line in the sand or no duty to retreat law provides people may use deadly force when they reasonably believe it is necessary to defend against certain violent crimes. And then it says right to self-defense. It says, under such laws, people have no duty to retreat before using deadly force in self-defense as long as they are in a place where they are lawfully present. The exact details vary by jurisdiction. It says the alternative to stand your ground is duty to retreat. Jurisdictions that implement a duty to retreat, even a person who is unlawfully attacked or who is defending someone who is unlawfully attacked, may not use deadly force if it is possible to instead avoid the danger with complete safety by retreating, which is basically what New York is right now. So yeah, that guy's going to get fucked right that one, who it is there. Says even areas that impose a duty to retreat generally follow the castle doctrine, under which people have no duty to retreat when they are attacked in their homes or in places like their vehicles or workplaces. Castle doctrine or stand your ground laws provide legal defenses to persons who have been charged with various use of force crimes against persons such as murder, manslaughter, aggravated assault, and illegal discharge or brandishing of firearms, as well as attempts to commit such crimes. It says whether a jurisdiction follows stand your ground or duty to retreat is just one element of self-defense laws. Differing jurisdictions allow deadly force against different crimes. All American states allow it against prior deadly force using bodily injury, allow it against prior deadly force, great bodily injury, or likely kidnapping or rape. Some also allow it against threats of robbery or burglary, which I would say honestly, like right there, great bodily harm. Like if you're running up behind somebody, dude, and like sucker punching them in the back of the head, like the back of the skull, like potentially like right at the fucking top of the spinal cord there is what it is, dude. Like you could fucking paralyze somebody like that, honestly, if you hit them in the right place. So yeah, I could easily see that being considered great bodily injury at that point, dude, and being justifiable deadly force then. So it was this 2020 RAND Corporation review of existing research concluded there is supportive evidence that stand your ground laws are associated with increased in firearm homicides and moderate evidence that they increase total number of homicides. That's a bunch of bullshit, by the way. That's a fucking lie. It's like, no, they don't, you idiots. What they do is they actually stop violent crimes in their fucking tracks, you morons and maroons. So when it goes on from there about different countries that have it. And then going down to the United States here, we got 38 states, our stand your ground states. All but 8 by statutes, providing that there is no duty to retreat from an attacker in any place in which one is lawfully present. These states include Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Michigan, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nevada, New Hampshire, North Carolina, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, West Virginia, and Wyoming. You know what's interesting about a lot of those 38 states is that a lot of them are also stand your ground, or also constitutional carry states now, besides being stand your ground states. You know, so the other 8 states have case law / precedent or jury instructions, so providing, which are California, Colorado, Illinois, New Mexico, Oregon, Vermont, Virginia, and Washington State. Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands also falls in this category. It says 11 states impose a duty to retreat when one can do so with absolute safety. They are Connecticut, Delaware, Hawaii, Maine. I didn't realize Maine had a duty to retreat law on the books. That's bullshit. Although it might have been one they put on this year over some BS is what it is there. Maryland, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Nebraska. Really? Nebraska has duty to retreat still? Are you fucking kidding me, bro? That's bullshit. New Jersey, New York, and Rhode Island. Says New York, however, does not require a retreat when one is threatened with robbery, burglary, kidnapping, or sex assault. I don't think that falls into that category, though, with that guy getting punched in the back of the head, but it would categorize as, like, not being able to retreat safely, though, is what it is, dude. So, again, who's to say if we see, news stories about it, because it was only the last couple of days we were talking about it there, so, because like it just happened this past weekend is what it was there, so it could easily be something where it's, a week or two from now, they actually have the guy in court and be like, hey, here's what you're being charged with kind of thing, or whatever the case be then. So, but yeah, that's fucked up, dude, that, Nebraska is in the same category as all these anti-gunner states, like right here is what it is, dude, and then like these ones too, for that matter. So, granted, Maine's someplace in the middle because of that fucking cunt Janet Mills trying to do away with all the good shit there, like constitutional carry and everything else like that. But yeah, that's fucking crazy though, man. Like, okay, so basically you have 30 states. Well, that doesn't make any sense because that would only equal up to 49. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where the 50th state would be in that one then. Oh, okay, it would be that weird blue one here in the middle. That's duty to retreat except in one's home or workplace. So whatever that state is right there. That makes sense. And then all the blue states there are duty to retreat except if you're in your house then. Which is crazy to me because it's like, okay, so what you're really saying is like specifically like say I'm in Maine or something like that, right? Visiting family. So I'm in their house. I literally walk outside, and some motherfuckers start attacking me. You mean I can't use deadly force against them? Like what? What the fuck, dude? Are you kidding me? Like that's fucking retarded. So you would mean I have to like run back in the house and hopefully they run in with me and then I can use deadly force against them then? Like the logic of that is so fucking flawed, it's not even funny. Like it is completely fucking flawed is what it is right now. So seeing as who's in the chat right now, I'm actually gonna drop some some links to people if they would want to hop on in here, and then I'll put my headphones on is what it is. We can talk more about this. So, but yeah, that's crazy to think that like Nebraska is one of the 11 that is that considered to be a retreat state at this point. It's weird, man. Very, very, very weird. Especially when all the other 10 are all anti-gun states. So it's like what? Like doesn't make any sense. Like literally at all. And just crazy, man. But yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens with this whole thing because, like I said, I think it's going to be a situation of having. Obviously, it's going to be New York, and it's going to be a jury that dude's peers probably, but yeah, I think it'll definitely be some crazy shit though. Also, I found NEA's Dream Woman last night when I was browsing through X there. This big old girl with her badunk trunk. God, that ass is disgusting. Dude, that is like some fucking basketballs in your buttocks at that point, for real. Like, that is that weird-ass Brazilian, like, add some shit to your ass at that point that possibly could kill you. So, it's up lawfully armed.
Hello, hello.
So what do you think about the Freaknik shooting? Justified or not?
I was just kind of passively listening, but I can tell you I'm not getting sucker punched in a crowd.
Yeah. And I could see both sides of the argument, honestly, where people are like, oh, yeah, having been in that situation themselves, are just like, I know how to fight or whatever. But it's like, for someone like me who is, arthritic and stuff like that, like, I couldn't fight. I would have to go, either mace or at that point, grab somebody else's gun and use it in self-defense is what it is or something. So, I don't know. I feel like there's definitely both sides of the argument. And I can totally see both sides of the argument, but I mean, to me, it's just a crazy situation all the way around. And it's also a great reason why you don't go into crowds at all in this country anymore. Because you never know what's going to happen there, especially if it's, around certain groups of individuals there. So.
Well, you don't get into ego fights.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. And the problem is, even with that, 45-second video that is like a different angle of it, we don't even really know who started this fight. If it was the dude in the dark green or if it was the guy in the white. Because it was just these other two dudes jumping on after the fact and like trying to get for that gun that they saw on the ground. That's what it was. So that wouldn't be used then probably. And of course, the one did have to use it in self-defense, potentially. So, I don't know. It's just crazy stuff for sure.
Who was it in Matt's chat saying that they've gotten into fistfights while wearing a gun before?
Van Drake.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's
yeah.
No disrespect to him, but I think that's ignorant. Like,
yeah,
if
yeah,
playing my name, but if you're gonna carry a firearm lawfully, you don't get into.
Yeah, well, you don't start stuff anyway. And if it would escalate to that point, you either try to get out of that situation or you go full deadly force is what it is then. So, although I know he has worked and he's told a few stories actually because he does security work too at different places there in Illinois. And one of the places he works at is a bar on the weekends. He said he had to go up to, because the way they have the place set up, whatever. He had, I forget what kind of it was like, it was some mill, like PCC up in the dude's office or something like that, like whatever NEA has. I forget what that's called. And he had to go up and like grab that thing and like use it against a bunch of guys who were trying to break into the back of the building or something one time. Like apparently, like the use of pulling that out on them was enough to basically deter them to get the fuck out of there without shots being fired. But yeah, it was a crazy story either way.
Yeah.
So, but that is again another reason to not be in big crowds and stuff like that, because you never know. You never know if some dude's gonna drop a little 2-shot Derringer or whatever this actually was. I think that's what it was. From the still frame here, that's what it looks like to me anyway. It's a little 2-shot Derringer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's it was over here some places where he picked up off the ground in the video. And then it was this dude back here was potentially the one that either had it or it was this guy right here that had it in the white. And obviously the dude in all black there was the one that sucked punch him in the back of the head is what it was then. So, but yeah, that's why I don't like major cities in this country. That's why I don't like going into them. That's why I don't like being around groups of people like that, or anybody else for that matter is what it is. If I see a giant group of people, I'm probably walking in their direction in general, just because I don't want to be involved in any shit like that's what it is there. And that's for my own self-protection is what it is there. So, and I get it. I get wanting to jump in and be the guy that like stops something from escalating to the point where it would escalate to that, but then having to be the guy that actually pulls the trigger is also a bad deal also on that one. So I don't know. It's just hard to say, honestly. But it is what it is. And unfortunately, sometimes people are just silly.
Cooler heads prevail.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. Well, and I think a lot of it has to do with when you get a bunch of fools together in a overheated environment, and people are just easily popping off is what it is then. But who knows? It could just be summertime rioting again, just kicking up in weird ways. Do you see that shit of the Chicago mayor telling people that it was Nixon's fault for what's going on right now in his city?
I did not, but that's a shame.
Oh, okay. Let me go find that video because I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna pull my headphones out to play it though. So. But yeah, it's too much, man. Like it really shows how much of a retarded moron this guy really is. So yeah, here's John's talking about it being Nixon's fault.
Black Death has been unfortunately accepted in this country for a very long time. We had a chance 60 years ago to get at the root causes. And people mocked President Johnson. And we ended up with Richard Nixon.
So yeah, supposedly they mocked LBJ and ended up with Nixon. Like what? Yet he never talks about what the root causes are in that situation or how to actually address them now. Like it really is like peak insanity is what it is there. And mind you, that was his response to over 100 people being shot in Chicago over the 4th of July weekend. 18 of which were fatal, by the way.
Is that a new record?
I don't know if it's a new record or not. I know it's a very high one for sure. I know the last time I heard one of those, it was under Lightfoot's administration, it was like 60 plus, I think, one time. Maybe 75 or something was one of the ones. But
Yeah, I knew they
it's just,
I knew they had high double digits before, but
yeah, I don't know if it was ever going to triple at this point or not. But yeah, I guess it is. Like I said, it was 100 shot, 18 fatal.
jeez,
So
it's awful to think that's in the same country.
yeah. Well, what's even more ridiculous is when you go to look at what the deal is here. This guy pointed out here. It said 93 years of straight Democrat policies in Chicago. It says top Democrat National Convention will be in Chicago 7 days into July. There have already been 24 people killed and 135 people shot, 97% of which have been black or Hispanic. So a person is shot every 3 hours and killed every 14 hours. Chicago has been run by Democrats for 93 years and has some of the most restrictive gun laws on the books. If Democrat policies really work, Chicago would be a utopian city. They always promised instead of the third world hellhole it has become. And yeah, there's your stats right there. 24 shot and killed, 111 shot and wounded, total shot 135, total homicides 24. Then we got person every 2.2 hours and 53 minutes. Every 14 hours and 33 minutes is a murder. And then there's your black, Hispanic, white, and other, who's actually the victims there. And obviously the black is always usually black on black crime is what it is. So somebody even broke down what people were shot at. So you had 93 in the head that were fatal.
God.
135 wounded in the head. 4 in the arm that were fatal. 247 in the arms that were non-fatal. 131 in the torso that was fatal. 343 that were in the torso that was non-fatal. This is obviously, I'm guessing, bullets that shot these people. 44 unknown, 37 for that one, and then 3 in lower body that were fatal, and 539 lower body that were non-fatal. That's insane, dude.
Those 4 in the arm just didn't get a tourniquet on in time. They bled out.
Yeah, that'd be my guess. Or it was like right in like one of like the artery veins or something, probably. I'm guessing, honestly, like the torso and lower body, like probably lower body where they were shot was probably right in the femoral artery, would be my guess, and like the leg or whatever. So.
Yeah, or it could be, like liver shot.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, depending on what they were using too, because if they're using like the full, Glock switches and stuff like that, and trying to mimic full auto and whatnot.
They like the AR pistols too.
No, that was all in Chicago we were talking about there. We were talking about Nebraska earlier because it was one of the few states that actually is a need retreat state. And every other state's a fucking leftist hellhole that's anti-gun that has that same law in the books. So, but yeah, it's just wild. And the Freaknik shooting was actually in New York City, so. But anyway, yeah, it's just crazy though. Yeah, I know with the Glock switch stuff, a lot of people, like even here in Ohio, when they had somebody doing that a few times, it's always been like almost always like lower leg area that gets shot in like foots and stuff like that. That's what it is, people's feet. So.
Have you shot a full auto handgun?
I have not, and I know that you can control it if you do it correctly. Because I have seen I've watched a lot of videos of people actually showing how to shoot them correctly.
Yeah.
The problem is, obviously, the people that are using them that are criminals, and of course, you can't just go to like a fucking range and being like, "Let me do my stance right and shoot it properly." So they go out in the woods and fire like a mag through it, like an idiot, with like one hand or whatever the case be. Just assume they're good to go is what it is then. And that's why you have them, retarded, not know how to fucking hold it properly in a good stance, and then they end up just spraying everywhere is what it is then.
Yeah, the first one goes where you meant to. The second one might. The third, fourth, fifth don't. And then by like 6 or 7, you've brought it back down. Mm-hmm. So it's like you miss with probably 2/3 of your ammo.
Yeah. Well, I assume with a lot of those, I assume with a lot of those guys, when they're doing it one-handed, it's probably just going like straight up in most cases, or even like straight down in most cases, depending.
Extrapolate that 100 people shot and think of the round count that was probably discharged.
Yeah.
Like Chicago wide.
Yeah. Well, I know Leo said it was, I think, 3 million something people in Chicago right now. So if you actually count that by the people that are actually in the city, like that is like not even 1% of the people at this point. It's like very minuscule, unfortunately to say. So actually, let me go see if I can find that one.
But it's probably like for a city of 3 million people, that's still probably 95 too many.
Yeah.
For what ought to be a civilized first world country.
Mm-hmm.
Easy access to guns or not. Like,
yeah. I'm trying to think what that one fucking thing was I had here a while ago. Okay, that's not what it was. So I was trying to find that one website that I used before that breaks down like every city and population density and stuff like that. Because it should have been in that one. No,
wasn't like census.gov, was it?
No. It's something else entirely. I'm physically trying to think what it was called. I'm trying to think what I would have posted in there to get it up as what it is. And mine just blanking on it now. That's not it right there. I know I was on it not long ago, unless I'm trying to figure out like how many days ago it was that I was on there that I can find it again now. I don't think it was in the past week anyway. Just check this real quick. Okay, that wasn't it. I think it was like a world something. There it is. Okay, I found it now. Yeah, it was world population review. And then they have the whole breakdown here of how you can do all the cities and the states and stuff like that. So I think that was Illinois. No, that was Iowa. Is that Illinois? That wasn't Illinois. Oh, that was Missouri. Trying to think. Wouldn't be that. No, that's Kansas. What state is that? It's Minnesota. Tennessee. What the hell was Indiana or Illinois in this damn thing? Is it this one right here? There we go. Okay, let's see here. By cities. Yeah, Chicago is 2.6 million and some change. The population density as of 2024. So, and it's currently declining at a rate of almost 1% annually, which probably is due to homicides and stuff and people just wanting to get the fuck out, is my guess, honestly, on that one.
Sewer slides.
Yeah. Decreased almost 4% since the most recent census, which was reported in 2020 at 2.7 million and some change. So, Then there's your population density makeup there by races and stuff like that. So there's actually about just over 1 million white people there, just under 800,000 black people, 300,000 from change or mixed race, or sorry, other race, which would be like various Islamic and stuff like that. So it is Arabic and shit. Then we got 2 or more races that would be your mixed race people, which would be almost 300,000 there. Asians at 190,000 for change. Native Americans at 19,000 some change. And then Native Hawaiian or Pacific Islander at 1,400-ish. So, but yeah, so you got basically most homicides are in this bracket, unfortunately. Or actually, I guess other race would also be Hispanic on that one, so it would be like this, and then this would be the 2 brackets right there. So it'd be that like 30, almost 40%, like 39, almost 40%, making up those 2, all the homicides there right now. Sad. They actually like the site quite a bit because they also break it down of like median age of people, male and female, and then like how many of those people are college graduates, and different education levels. And so almost 25% of the city has a bachelor's degree, and 18% has a graduate degree. Almost 22% are college graduates. Less than 7% have less than a 9th grade education, and just under 7% have a 9th to 12th grade education. So they dropped out someplace in there before they graduated then.
Was that what it is, or is that?
All these different percentages, and then it has the count of how many people it is. So it's 124,369 have 9th to 12th grade education, and then 111,805 have an associate's degree. 466,629 have bachelor's degree. 334,395 have graduate. High school graduate are 414,395. Less than 9th grade education is 130,000 some change, almost 131,000. And then some college would be 318,000 some change, almost 319,000. So, which that would be people like me, honestly, that never got our associate's degree and stuff like that. So, that would also be people that just go to college and be like, oh, let me get basically a Pell Grant or whatever it is there, or any kind of really grant money to go to college, or student loan money to go to college, whatever it is, and they just piss it away as what it is after the fact. Like they go for like a couple days and like a quarter or something like that, and they just drop out after that. That's what it is then. And I saw a lot of that here in Columbus, actually, when I was going down there. And you could actually, the sad fact is you can usually tell who it was that was going to drop it almost immediately, because you have people literally showing up without even a pen or notebook in their hand on the first day of class, and then ask people for pens and paper to use. And I'm just like, dude, why are you not coming prepared? Like, come on. Like, you're going to be in these classes. You're going to need the supplies. It's like literally the syllabus says, like, required material, here you go. Are you not reading these syllabuses? Like, Jesus. So, but yeah, there's a couple times where I actually let people borrow pens, and I realized very quickly you do not give them the caps of those pens, because they will just steal the pen. Then is what it is. And then I did that one time where I just didn't give them the cap, and they stole the pen anyways. What it was, and I'm like, you motherfucker. So I stopped giving out pens after that then entirely. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's just a sad situation all the way around. And then of course you got idiot Johnson will sit there and blame everything but his own failures is what it is. Or Democrat failures for that matter. And then they'll try to push more gun laws at a city level and things that don't help already is what it is. And then try to be like, oh, it's the guns. It's like, no, it's not. It's your failed policies, dude. actually address the fatherless home situation and don't just spend, billions of dollars a fucking year on stupid ass programs that are just full of embezzlement and stuff like that. But I don't know. It's like these Democrats like that just have like a penchant for doing that kind of shit. There's a guy here in Ohio actually that's a state rep named Darnell Brewer. He is up for re-election in November for a second term potentially, and his whole entire thing at one of these subcommittees they had recently was, oh, you should just give us money for programs. People were like, what are you talking about, dude? There's already proven fact these fail other places. Your exact things you're talking about. It's like you a blank check to basically embezzle from it, dude. He's also pushing anti-gun shit like crazy in this state too, for that matter. So I don't know. It's just fucking stupid people voting for stupid people is what it is there. I actually saw this one earlier tonight. I thought it was pretty funny. I caught this off of Facebook, which was all the insane asylum people. You got the big dude saying, I'm a baby. You got this nut job in a dog suit saying I'm a dog. You got this guy saying he's an alien. You got a black girl saying she's white, a white girl saying she's black, and then Caitlyn Jenner saying she's a woman. And the little kid being like, y'all know we can see you, right? So, yeah, I remember when shit like that used to be a straight jacket to an insane asylum is what it was then. So, and unfortunately, we're not doing that anymore, even though it should be, because it would make this country a hell of a lot better off right now. So much better off right now. But anyway, I don't know. People are all insane is what it is, and I don't know what the real fix is at this point, honestly, unless it's like, a straight up reset. Oh, Jesus Christ. I just jumped on X there. Apparently, Whoopi Goldberg says she would still vote for Biden if he shits his pants and can't put a sentence together because he also has poopy days. The fuck? She also has poopy days. So she basically talked about shitting her own pants at that point. Jesus Christ, lady. Oh my God, man.
Yeah, we all get there at some point.
I mean, I know you do, and I know well, my mom did before she passed, unfortunately, but that was because she had colitis. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. I just feel like if you're crapping yourself on a regular basis, maybe you should position of power. Like, seems logical at that point,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, people were bringing up the that actor guy that played the principal dude in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Thought he's actually a child molester. Yeah, I've heard that one for years now. I think he actually went to jail for a while for that, if I'm not mistaken. One of the few that actually did. Unlike most, just get away with it, unfortunately. Jesus. Then, of course, another anti-gun utopia in this country. Good old California. Thieves rob a USPS, a post office truck, in broad daylight in California. The real question is, why the hell was the back of this truck still open? That just seems stupid of itself right there. Yeah, just grabbing a whole bunch of mail. Jesus. I don't know what's more pathetic, the fact that they sat there for a couple seconds and picked up more of the fucking mail before driving off, or the fact that the postman did nothing to stop them from grabbing the mail. It's a sad, sad day, I'll tell you that right now. People are already talking about 2024 election going to be the most rigged election in U.S. history now. You got idiot Mike Johnson saying all they have to do is check a box on a form and sign their name. That's it. That's all that's required. Speaker Mike Johnson, we now have so many non-citizens in the country that if only 1 out of 100 of them voted, they would cast hundreds of thousands of votes. If a nefarious actor wants to intervene in our elections, all they have to do is check a box in a form and sign their name. That's it. That's all that is required of them. Illegals voting, Democrats told us that's impossible, but there's also no federal requirements for states to verify citizenship of voters before they register. In New York State, for example, you can register to vote without an ID, without a social security number, as long as you have a utility bill or paycheck or a governing house slip. So remember, if they get caught, oops, didn't know it was illegal, charges dropped, and who's really going to try to catch them anyway? Yeah, fucking ridiculous. This is Biden lets 10 plus million into a country every day. New York Times has done extensive reporting on this and found, in fact, that there have been quite a few cases of illegals who have actually been caught voting illegally in our elections. Because, of course, they fucking have. It's so disheartening.
I don't know of any way to stop it.
Yeah, I don't think there is anymore. I think, honestly, the only way to fix everything would just be a civil war at this point, honestly. Or something similar to that. Because until things completely change, when we become a whole new country that's like way less than 50 states at this point, I don't think anything's going to change from there, is what it would be. And I could easily see us being a roughly 30-state republic at this point in the next couple of years, honestly. Because the thing is, if Texas secedes, they're not going to go alone. Like, they'd just be the first of many at that point. You would have, I personally think every constitutional carry state after that will just join them immediately then, in various ways, shapes, or forms. If that means, governors actually having the balls to step up and do what the fuck they need to do to join Texas, or whether that be those governors being removed from power at that point immediately, and General Assemblies, for that matter, too, being removed from power and being replaced en masse. And then those people would be the ones being like, nah, fuck that, we're getting the hell out of here with Texas. So, I think I know exactly why people in India shit in the streets now. And all you gotta do is watch the way they prepare food. With a bare fucking hand, apparently. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pass on all that. Like, nah, I'm good, bro. So, no massive diarrhea needed here is what it is. So, and then we got Biden doing more lies, apparently. Falsely claiming that Trump threatened to withhold aid from Ukraine if it didn't have its prosecutor investigate him. So the fact is, Biden actually threatened to withhold $1 billion in aid from Ukraine if they didn't fire the prosecutor investigating his son's company. So, good old Burisma. So people are pointing out with Johnson's speech there, he was trying to blame Richard Nixon for black on black crime. Jesus Christ, dude. I still don't understand how this failed teacher became a mayor of a city that is basically the size of a state. Like, that is just mind-boggling to me, honestly. I really don't get it. Because the sad fact is they actually had a half-decent guy in that Paul dude that was running against him. And it could have easily been a Law and Order city at this point. Or any other guy. But yeah, people chose this retard. Actually, no, I guess I do understand it because going back to what we talked about a minute ago there, it's all, you know, illegals voting for Johnson and company there. So, yeah. This one's actually kind of pathetic. So apparently knife crime has gotten so bad in Germany now. You have Chinese manufacturers selling stab-proof jackets. Where you can't stab through the fucking jacket. That's just ridiculous.
I'm surprised that they're buying Chinese ones.
You know, I'm surprised that it's not like multiple companies making that stuff if it's that bad, honestly.
I mean, you can buy stab-proof vests here.
Yeah. Link to the top if you want to jump in here. Safe life. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, stab-proof vests, and then like the needle-proof gloves and stuff.
Well, I'm wondering if that's what that is. What that jacket is, maybe because it looks like it does have like some kind of a like vest thing built, like sewn into it, maybe or something. So it might be something like that, where it's just like a sewn vest into the jacket or something. That's a stab-proof vest. The problem with that is, though, all they can do is stab you in the face, and you're fucked then. So,
well, I mean, same thing as wearing body armor. Like you can wear a plate carrier, but you still get shot in the face with the pelvis.
Yeah, exactly.
What up?
Yeah,
Yo.
we were talking about Nebraska being one of the 11 states that has duty to retreat still. What the hell's with that, man?
Can't help it. Had a bunch of Democrats running the shit for a while.
Or is it possibly because Omaha and Lincoln exist there?
Yeah, it's mostly the Omaha. Omaha and Lincoln have a lot of additional laws. Basically, you actually can't carry your gun loaded, even with a CCW up there. It's supposed to be in your car. Like if you're in your car in Omaha, you are supposed to not have your gun loaded with a magazine in it. It's supposed to be locked separate, and you can't have it on your person. But I don't do that.
I know DJ Playnice and I had an interesting conversation about the gun laws for your state capital too one time.
Yeah.
And how you can actually carry a gun into the state capital, but yet you can't legally have it on you outside of the state capital. So it's like this weird ass, like, are you legally allowed or not kind of thing.
Yeah, I think like the overlapping city ordinances kind of like you may be able to do stuff, but then there's shit.
Yeah, I was actually making jokes with him because he was talking about open carrying possibly one time, and he was like, okay, so you're just gonna like lift your jacket and your shirt up and be like, here you go, like here it is, as you're walking to the door.
Nah, fuck that. Yeah, he actually lives in Lincoln. I should meet up. I got to meet up with him.
He's a good dude.
Yeah, y'all catch me getting ready in the shower. I cranked out a few videos tonight, clean the truck and the car.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna go too much longer here. I got some stuff I gotta do before I go to sleep. So
It rained cats and dogs here today, so it was half price car wash day.
yeah, it's supposed to be. I think Wednesday we're supposed to be getting the aftermath of that hurricane tropical storm deal.
Yeah, we had 4 inches in 2 days here.
I think Corey might be without power right now because I haven't heard from him all day. I tried to call
Is
him
that
up
your
earlier today.
Muffin Top? Is that your pickup line?
No, it's less than that. Unfortunately for me. It's like once you go Asian, you look at the white guy and say it's just a little bit bigger. It's a good time. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Question mark?
Yeah, tired. We are now in the process of a bidding war for the house currently.
How many muffins is it?
So, my family friends, the house and the property with it, including mineral rights, was valued at $240. The family friends offered $200, and then another buyer came in about 2-3 weeks ago now and offered $212. And my sister called them up yesterday, the original offer people, and she was like, "Hey, here's the deal. Like, somebody's offering more. If you guys want to, go above that, like, you can get the house. If you don't want to go above that's whatever." And the wife started fucking flipping on her and being all like, "Oh, you're lying to us this whole time," and like, also, it's like, you guys were trying to literally Jew us down on the fucking price, man. Like, you could have offered
nobody wants to
full
pay
value
full
at that point.
price.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even their original offer was $215, and then they came in and looked at the house after the fact and was like, "We'll offer you $200 for it now." What the fuck, dude? Why would you even offer that other amount to begin with then?
Oh, I can roll in any house I roll in. I offer 100,000.
Yeah.
I roll in 100,000. I said without inspection, and sometimes I get a house, and sometimes I don't.
Yeah. Well, I just know the other guy was all about paying a little bit more is what it was, and he seems way more understanding and would be cool with me being a renter till the end of the year and then figuring something out after that. So,
Dude, seriously, get a camper. Then you can bug out. Then you could, if you get like a camper and like maybe you work out a deal where you have like a family member pay for like a garage where you can like plug it in or whatever. Dude, fucking done.
Yeah, the issue there is like, I don't know, it just feels. I don't really want to be like a van guy.
That's why it's a camper.
Well, and then also it's like not having like an actual
you
address either is kind of.
Dude, we sleep 12 in a fifth wheel. We got 2 fifth wheels. We got 10 guys in one and 12 in the other for deer camp. You'll be fine. You got this.
Yeah, no, but it's just like
you get a Starlink on that bitch, especially when you sell the house, or you could get one of those like Class C, like little drivable ones with like a pop out on each side. Boom, baby, you got it. Outdoor kitchen, Ohio style.
Yeah, but then you got to think about the crazy winters and everything, and
yeah, that's what the shed's for. Park it in the shed, save you a little propane.
Yeah,
it ain't bad. It's way cheaper than a house, bro. And then you're not blowing your money on rent. Just saying.
Yeah, or I could always just go full cat life and live on top of a freezer.
Well, you might die.
Saw that. I thought it was pretty cute. So. But no, I don't know.
But then you'd have to move to Japan.
Yeah, you could buy a house in Japan.
I've seriously considered leaving the country at this point and going someplace else, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know if I really want to do that, is what it is. Just because like, everything I know is here. And it'd be finding like a whole new life and everything else like that.
Change is not a bad thing.
I mean, it's not, but then there's also like the whole cultural change where it's like, at some point, I'd obviously have to learn how to speak, Japanese. I'm not really down for like learning another language anytime soon. Not that I wouldn't learn their languages, but just like I just don't want to be, forced to is what it is. If I don't need to have to, so.
Camper in a shed, it is then.
Yeah, I mean, I might be mobile, but then it's like, I don't know.
You get like one of those metal Morton buildings or whatever, park in there, have like a little chill place and throw a shitter in there, plug in your camper, do like a couple mini splits in that bad boy, have like an attic for storage and crap up there. Done. Then if you want to go visit Corey, you go visit Corey. Then if you want to go visit Tactical Muffin Top, you go visit Tactical Muffin Top, and you bring it back to home base when you're done. And then you own it. You're not just renting it, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a maybe at this point. It's just the problem is getting the money together first. Obviously, would be the big issue. It's going to take a while for that to happen. Even
It's like being retired in your 30s.
yeah.
Yep.
Well, the thing is that would obviously be months and months away. Because from my understanding, the way everything is right now, it would be at the end of this year or sometime early next year is when we'd actually get the payments then. So it's still going to be a while off yet.
Just not going to kick around, man.
Yeah, and I'm not opposed to it. It's just it all depends. Yeah, I don't know. It's just I would say right this second, I would say it's a no. Like maybe at some point down the line, it might be a yes. Because I can see traveling America. The issue there, obviously, is figuring out all the gun laws to know exactly what was illegal with me at the time.
I'm fucking issue with vehicle maintenance and gas, but gun laws, man. Think about the practical stuff first.
I don't know. Like I said, it's a maybe.
You guys talk about anything on that flight tracker deal?
What's that?
Talk about anything on that flight tracker deal?
Not yet, no.
That is an addicting site to watch. Like, I cannot stop watching it.
Yeah.
I've scoured all evening.
I could tell. I was out there,
Apparently,
had all the Cheerios and crap out of the car seat, and you're blowing me up.
France has officially fallen now. It's all the rioting after their election cycle the other day.
All right. Deuces, dude. I got to hop in the shower and go to bed.
Yeah, I think I'm going to head out too. So I think I'll call it a night on this one and then be back. Let's see, today's Tuesday. I might do a grandstand on Wednesday. I might do an aftermath on Wednesday, and then it will be Buckshot Thursday for sure. I got some stuff going on Wednesday, though, so it might be an issue there of having to maybe not do anything that day. So got to go to the old dermatologist again and do my 6-month checkup with those people, so it is. So hopefully figure out some stuff there and have them do some fixes on me to make me better again then. Put me on some new meds maybe or something. So.
I hope they get it all straight.
Yeah, I hope so too, but I don't know if it's going to happen or not. It's just there's a lot of stuff they need to do and they're not doing it. Specifically, I got some cyst pockets on my body that need to be literally sliced out, and they don't want to do that again. Even though they have to be to give me actual relief at this point. It's not like they can just be like, oh yeah, here's some pills for inflammation. It's like, it's not inflammation. It's literally a friggin' literal leftover cyst chunk, lady. Like, cut it the fuck out. So I can actually get a decent night's sleep for once. So that's exactly what's hurting me the last several months now is what it is. Especially these last like 3 to 4 weeks now, specifically. But anyway. Huh. This is pretty cool. It is a mobile granite top that can change color.
They must
It
have
is
hollowed it
true.
out and put like the LEDs in the middle.
Yeah, it looks like it's like multiple. That would be a pain in the ass, obviously, if it ever breaks down then, because then you just can't
Or
see
you
shit.
still have you just have a countertop.
Yeah, you just have a countertop. It's just not lightable at that point then. So. Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of cool. Seems like a pretty big waste of money if you have to waste, though, which would be nice if that were the case. There was somebody hit the Powerball here the other day in the Dayton area. It's like, yeah, it couldn't have been fucking me over here in Canton and stuff. So, but either way, it is what it is. If it was meant to be, it was meant to be. Oh, apparently as of 11 hours ago, they had New York City, or New York State, I should say, passed Senate Bill S8479A, which forces credit card companies to report firearm and ammo purchases. Completely infringes on Second Amendment citizens' rights to privacy. Roger Marshall, J.D. Vance, Josh Hawley are now backing Credit Card Competition Act, which would break up the Visa MasterCard duopoly and allow competitors who could fight back against these unconstitutional laws. Credit Card Competition Act must pass. Damn right it must. And this is also why I've said many times, J.D. Vance must stay in the U.S. Senate right now. He does not need to be Trump's VP at all, because there's way too many fucking rhinos here in Ohio, like that piece of shit anti-gunner Matt Dolan, who would easily want to replace him then. And we don't need to have that crap around, so. Need to keep JD in the U.S. Senate. Need to have either Vivek or Glenn Jacobs become Trump's VP at this point. Which the more and more I think about it, the more I kind of want Kane to be the next VP of this country. So that's just me personally. Plus, I think it'd be pretty badass if you just have an ex-wrestler being a vice president now. Who could also pretty much kick anybody's ass if he wanted to then. And it'd be like the old wrestling things where it's like send for the man. It's that thing Randy Savage like flipping over tables, but in this case it would be like send for the VP and it would just be Kane showing up in the Kane mask. About to choke slam the shit out of somebody. So, anyway. But yeah, other than that, stay safe, stay vigilant, always be carrying because you never know what's going to happen. And until later, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out, y'all.
Deuces.
Tres leches.